Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So, on the docket for today, we're going to check in with some Bank of America tweaks to their customized cash card. That's the red one. We have some new Wells Fargo cards potentially coming, but they're not the ones you hope were coming, but they could be good, maybe, but probably not. We have some Citi changes to how they do their deposit account structure, and of course, we will talk about Delta lounges because why would we go one episode without talking about airport lounges? So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, first, we're going to lead off with Bank of America, a bank that I'm actually starting to work through the credit card portfolio of. They are doing some changes to their customized cash card. That is the red one. So we'll take a look at this here. Overall, not too big of a change. If you remember, this is a 3-2-1 card, so you've got a 3X category where you pick your option, and that's really what's changing. So Bank of America, they're adding underneath gas stations, they're adding EV charging, and under online shopping, they're actually adding cable streaming, internet, and phone plans as well. Rounding out your 3X category would be dining, travel, drugstore, pharmacy, home improvement, and furnishings as well. And overall, that's not too bad of an upgrade. EVs getting more popular. A lot of companies, major companies announcing that they're getting involved in it, so adding EV charging helps. And as far as, online shopping, from what I understand, the online shopping was already a very broad category anyway, so anytime you can define what you have in there a little bit better, that helps. Fun note, I did actually apply for this card a few days ago and got denied for it, probably because I applied too quickly. I got the unlimited cash card maybe 3 weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure Bank of America would give you 2 cards in a 2-month span, but probably did a little bit too fast, trigger finger on that. They did mail me a promo offer for it later, so I might try it again. So overall, nice updates to the card. And before we move on to the next story, we must do a birthday shout out to Mr. Terrell Moss here, who actually gave us this story, wrote in for this, so I understand it's a little bit of a belated birthday, but that's okay. Thanks for writing in. Happy birthday to you, sir. Give our guy a shout out down below. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good week. Now, moving right along, we are moving into some potentially new cards coming from Wells Fargo. Now, if you remember, Wells Fargo, they owe us some more cards. They were supposed to launch 4 or 5 personal cards. We really only got the Active Cash, the Autograph, technically the Reflect, and I don't think the Built counts in that since it was more of an acquisition or a partnership than anything else. So now we have new business cards coming. We don't know much about them, but it's always fun to take a look and speculate. So let's take a look at what we have. And here we go. This is going to be the Signify line. So you're going to have the Signify Business Cash MasterCard, Signify Business Essential MasterCard, and Signify Business Elite MasterCard. Now, there are trademark filings for all 3 of these. They were filed about a year ago. Deals Points from Reddit on the R Churning subreddit actually found these, and you can find these on Justia. They're all linked over on profitablecontent.com. In addition to that, they also have a Priority Pass landing page already set up, so that tells us at least one of these is going to be, a travel card focused. Now, overall, I think we talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago. When you went to Wells Fargo's landing page for business cards, they actually had a tease for, new business card coming soon. I myself still have their Business Platinum card. At this point, I think I should probably phone in and shut it down just in case. Well, so I could even get the intro offers on at least one of these cards, because I gotta imagine one of these is going to be a successor to the Business Platinum that I just gave you 1.5x back. 1.5x seems to be the table limit, I should say, for business card multiplier. So I don't think one will go past that. I think you'll see maybe the Essentials card or something being the, the low APR balance transfer card, and then you'll probably have one that's obviously linked to this Priority Pass landing page that is maybe a mid-tier travel card. The only interesting piece is would Wells Fargo bring in an annual fee card on their business side for travel, because historically they've had people love them because they have the no annual fee trifecta for traveling. So we'll have to see, but I think that for the most part, that's how I think it'll line up. A successor to the Platinum card, the Wells Fargo Platinum, not the IMX Platinum. Everyone has to call it something Platinum. And then, the low balance transfer one, and then some kind of mid-tier travel one, probably without an annual fee. But they did used to have a business card that was targeted, businesses that were making, almost like a commercial card. I think you did $5 million in revenue or something. So it could be a successor to that card with a travel component. So I will keep an eye on it. No word yet, but of course it is interesting nonetheless. Now moving right along to another one of the Power 5 banks, and that is Citi. So not necessarily a new credit card story, but I did find this interesting because it kind of runs parallel to Bank of America to a degree. Citi has announced a new way that they're going to run their deposit accounts. So now it's going to be Citi, they call it Citi Relationship tiers. Originally, when you went through to pick a Citi account, they had account packages. You had your entry level one, then you had your gold, your priority, your platinum, and whatnot. I don't remember those are all the names of the packages, but that's kind of how it worked. Now they're simplifying it, so you get a deposit account, and then it ratchets up depending on how much money or how much capital you have with them or assets under management. So if you take a look at it, they've broken it down into 4 tiers. So everyday benefits, then that's just a standard one that most of us would have if you do, the Citi promotions for the deposit accounts. Then you move up to Citi Priority with $30,000 under management, Citi Gold, and then Citi Gold, basically private client, because you can see you're at $1 million. So it's set up very similar to the Bank of America preferred rewards, except Bank of America preferred rewards still allows you to pick different checking accounts. I still think I have the basic personal advantage checking account, but there's still a few different options. The only problem here is, while this is simpler, yes, because you just graduate out depending on how much money you want to put here or with wealth management with them, so it is combined balances. There's no real additional benefit to this because the packages, from what I remember, or the tiers line up pretty similar to what the packages used to be. Meaning your basic package, you still have to have like a minimum of $1,500 or something to avoid fees, and there's not really a benefit of moving up. I mean, there could potentially be some checking account features that you like, but you probably would have already had that tier anyways, and maybe not at the same requirement. But I think the baseline requirements are what it took originally to avoid fees anyway. So it is streamlined. They're just not really doing anyone any favors. There's no real benefits, and while, I talk about Bank of America Preferred Rewards a lot as of late because I didn't join it, and that's like one of the key components of my cashback strategy. Bank of America Preferred Rewards could still use some tweaking for sure on the rewards that they give you. I think they've gotten a little bit old and not as competitive, but at least they give you something. Here, this would have been prime for them to copy preferred rewards, which is always something I wonder why other banks don't do, and Citi would actually be prime for that because Citi is very much a, hey, just give me your money type of bank. When we do their deposit account bonuses, they don't even bother with like requirements like debit card transactions and things like that. Like, no, just give us new money. Doesn't need to be a direct deposit, don't need the debit card, just give me money, we'll give you your promotion. And so I think Citi would fit that lineup. I mean, they could add to it. We've also seen US Bank do this as well. They have a little bit more of a tie-in with their credit cards where if you have a specific card, it can waive the fees on their checking account. So simpler, yes. Beneficial, highly debatable. If you like Citi, fine. If not, I wouldn't move over there for this alone. But again, they're always worth churning once a year. Now, last story, again, we're on a streak of airport lounges. This time we're checking in with Delta once again. Now, this isn't necessarily like a new topic at hand, but it's one that's kind of getting resurfaced. So Delta had been in the news, I think, earlier this year because they were going to make some Delta. They're not officially called Delta One lounges, but that's kind of what they're lovingly known as in the flyer community. So they're going to be lounges focused on like first business class travelers, people flying in first class, people actually buying tickets. Very similar to how like United is what Polaris Lounge. I think American has like their flagship lounge, like the next tier of lounge. You're not supposed to be able to get a credit card and like cut your way in line. You really have to be traveling on a certain ticket, a paying, a revenue customer, right? So they are now opening 3 of those. One's New York, one's Boston. Of course, there's another one. No, one's New York, LA, I think, and now there's another one coming in Boston. So I do think this is overall more interesting simply because it could potentially, it'd be interesting to see how they partner this with their overcrowding issue, right? Because Delta has shown when they revamp their memberships, they definitely show focus and more love towards their revenue customers, the ones that are actually paying to get in. And even though they do make a lot of money off that American Express membership or American Express partnership, I think it was almost like $6 billion Delta made. It's like their cut of merchant or swipe fees on that partnership. You can clearly see they must have known some of their legit customers were getting upset about these crowds. That's why they have the line where, like, I think if you're, a certain ticket, you can go to the front of the line, not have to wait. There's almost 2 lines. So this will be interesting to see if they hold the line and don't make these type of lounges actually be able to get in with any type of credit card, or just random thought, does this tie in? Do we start bringing up the old rumors of that Amex Optio card? It'll be like $1,000 and that's how you get in. I don't think they do, because I think that would ruin it, and this may also help encourage people to buy the higher price tickets. So there's more talk about these coming. Again, no real timeline or no real details yet, as I understand it from the TPG article. I don't even think Delta quite knows what they want to do with these top-end premium lounges, right? How to, separate them from the regular lounge, but then they might want to be able to bring in other people besides people who are flying Delta One, but who? How do you do it? How do you manage it? How do you build them out? Where do you put them? All these things up in the air, pun intended, but I do think it'll be interesting to see how this spins out, because they already have like 4 or 5 lounges. We just talked about them opening up another one in Boston, where this newest one is going to be. So that's like 2 lounges, a regular and a premium, I think even in the same terminal. So, more airport lounge news to come, I guess. But anyways, guys, that has been the news for this week. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel, because we're posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance, and of course every single day over on profitablecontent.com. The channel's blog, we have the latest news stories, we have bank promotions if you want to try some Citi tiers perhaps and get paid for it, and of course we have credit card offers. Of course, let me know what you've seen going on in the news this week, as well as what you think about these stories. Love to get your thoughts on that. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon this week.